Black History Month is marked in our calendars for this month, and it's an excellent time to sit down with children to talk about the contributions and accomplishments that Black people around the world have made. While these conversations should last all year long and for many years, where do you begin? Joining me now is husband of one, father of two, similar to me, Casey. Casey Palmer joins us this morning. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning. How's it going today?
It's going great. You know, we have a little bit of wintry weather, but I love this conversation as well because communication with your children is key on so many different levels. So how do you start this conversation? What's the right way to lead in, and what's a good conversation to have?
Well, you know, it's a different conversation for every kid. You have to figure out where they're at age-wise, maturity-wise, their experiences, and you just make sure that they're exposed to as much culture around them as possible, because the more they bring into their world, the more they'll be able to understand when it comes down to history of any culture. Black history specifically right now is not always pretty, but we can make it age appropriate with the right stories and resources to help.
We're all humans, we are, but of course we're different, and history makes us different, culture makes us different. How do we tell kids to have that conversation, to really recognize that people are different but the same, and we have to work all together and be together?
That's a really good question. What we need to not do is make sure that we're not seeing color and trying to do identity erasure through ignoring parts of our identity. What we need to show is that it's important to notice those differences and embrace them as part of the whole picture of what makes somebody who they are. So we take a look at the things that make us different and make sure that we can, you know, whether it's going to virtual meetings or festivals or trying different foods, you make sure that you bring on all these different sensory experiences so that your kid can see diversity in the world around them.
That's the one thing I want for my two boys this year, is a little bit of sense of adventure. And adventure is doing something different and going to different cultural events, trying different food, embracing that as well. It makes them a better human being all over.
Oh, definitely. 100%. One of the reasons why I'm so intent on raising my children in Toronto is because of their access to so many different things around them. I think it's so key to make sure that they can grow up in a world with a worldly approach to it and accept different things around them every day, because the world is constantly evolving and changing. So they need to be ready to bring those in to shape their worldview rather than be resistant to it.
We saw that beautiful picture of your family. And do you have a different conversation with your wife than what you do with your kids?
Yeah, I mean, with Sarah, you know, the conversation has been about growing together with our differences. And what that has done is help us to bring it together, to bring things together for the boys that are a bit of her, a bit of me, mix it together, as well as the influences from all around them, so that we can hopefully send them out into the world with a really strong sense of who they are, instead of letting the world dictate that for them.
My kids often ask me some wonderful questions, and sometimes I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. And you know, and I want to do it right. I want to make sure that they're being really just great human beings. So if I don't have all the answers, what do I do?
Well, we're in the information age, and what's really helpful there is that everything is a Google search away. You can always go, if you're willing to learn together with your kids, it's a lot easier to just bring that into their world, and you can all bring it together. And there's so many resources available: Big Dreamers, Volume 1 and 2, Trailblazers. There's all these wonderful books that highlight actually Black Canadian history, not just Black history in general. And it's so important to be able to make sure that you have the right resources at hand, and they're just a library card or a Google search away.
That's great. The information today is great too. And you have your own website. What's your website, Casey?
You can find me at caseypalmer.com. I'm the creator of the Black Canadian Creator Directory, which highlights 450 plus more Black Canadian stores that are out there as well. And so you can find diversity within our community. And I encourage you to check it out.
I'm going to check it out for sure. And health and happiness to you and your wonderful family. Let's hope that this year is better than the last. And we as individuals can always make every year a little bit better.
Excellent. Thank you so much.